First of all, I would like to thank the Prime Minister of Bavaria, Markus Söder, for the invitation tonight for his speech. He was alluding to the German history and how the Prussians and Bavarians were fighting each other. And I think Bavaria is ready, next time around this happens, to again become a kingdom. And this is the right place then to celebrate this. And I could imagine already also somebody who would be ready to assume the role that is necessary in that time. I might say the support of the Bavarian government for the Munich Security Conference is crucial for us. This beautiful dinner bears witness to Bavaria's generosity. Allow me to recognize one person to whom the MSC is extremely grateful for his exceptional engagement in support of our conference, and that is Minister of State Florian Herrmann. Thank you very much for all the support. We love the Munich Security Conference, we love Munich, and for all those who love the city, I have the news that Bayern Munich tonight tied the defending champion Leverkusen 0-0, is 8 points ahead and will become German champion again. And then they will win the Champions League in Munich as well. Prime Minister, in your speech you mentioned a number of dignitaries, ministers, prime ministers. You forgot one organization, and this is the United Nations, which I think is very important, remains crucial for us. And representing the United Nations, I would like to honor a person who has done enormously for the world. He gave a speech to the TUM, to the Technical University. He has a tough time right now, and this is Dr. Tedros, the Executive Director of the World Health Organization from Ethiopia, a good friend. Thank you that you are here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Ewald von Kleist held very strong views. He was principled, he was courageous. The defense of the free world against an aggressive communist Soviet Union was a driving force behind all his efforts. These characteristics also describe this year's winner of the Ewald von Kleist Prize, the EU High Representative for Foreign and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas, former Prime Minister of Estonia. Kaja, thank you for accepting this decoration. Kaja, you have been a great friend of the MSC. When we ask you or your wonderful team if you're ready to participate in this spotlight or that round table or on this podium, your response is always positive. The most spectacular presentation you ever gave at the MSC was a video in our YouTube studio in 2023. You went back to the Cold War days of Ewald von Kleist and quoted Andrei Gromyko, the legendary Soviet foreign minister, who himself described Soviet negotiating tactics, and I repeat how you described these tactics. So I quote Kaja. First, demand the maximum, do not ask, but demand something that has never been yours. Second, present ultimatums, threaten. Third, do not give 1 inch in negotiations, because there will always be people in the West who will offer something, and in the end you will have 1/3 or even 1/2 of something you didn't have before. To know you, Kaja, in this an estimated 3 million people watched your video. This is in the range of today's most popular rock stars. I'm sure Ewald von Kleist would have enjoyed listening to you. You call a spade a spade. We have to understand today that Vladimir Putin is in the tradition of Joseph Stalin. No hesitation to kill opposition leaders. 1 year ago, exactly while we had the Munich Security Conference, Vladimir Putin was responsible for the death of Alexei Navalny. And I'm very happy that his wife, Yulia Navalnaya, tonight is with us. Yulia. Kaja was born into a family who was deported by Stalin to Siberia. Her mother was only 6 months old when she and her grandmother had to leave their home on a cattle car. But they managed to return to Estonia. Kaja's father, Kaja Kallas, played a central role in Estonia's independence movement and led the Estonian negotiations to join NATO. Kaja herself can look back on an outstanding career. 5 years as a member of the Estonian Parliament, 4 years as a member of the European Parliament, and almost 4 years as Prime Minister. I think, Kaja, you must have started your career right after kindergarten. And you have used your time very well. In January 22, just 2 months before Putin invaded Ukraine, when many Europeans were in denial about Russia's looming invasion, you acted, demanded support for Ukraine, and sent weapons to the country. In early 2023, you proposed the European Ammunition Initiative, by which 1 million rounds were to be delivered to Ukraine within a year. In early 2024, you were among those calling for a 100 billion euro fund to boost Europe's defense industry, and you also called on your European partners to follow Estonia's example to spend 0.25% of GDP on Ukraine's defense. I asked one of your former cabinet members about your standing in your home country. He said, you have to become too large for Estonia. Consequently, you have arrived in Brussels. As the EU's 5th High Representative, after Javier Solana, Cathy Ashton, Federica Mogherini and Josep Borrell, you are now the first former Prime Minister in this function. The elevation of the position also reflects the importance of a common European foreign and security policy. To know you, Kaja, in this position, somebody as straightforward as you are, at this critical juncture in history is a relief, because today is the hour of Europe. As we describe it in our Munich Security Report, we live in an age of multipolarization. Europeans will only survive in this Hobbesian world if we stand together as a unified pole, a pole which is based on the rule of law. For Europe to reach its objectives, it needs strong representatives, and we certainly have those. Member states have to understand that individually they have no chance to make a difference. Europe is strong in trade policy because member states have transferred competences to the European Commission. Now it's time to entrust Brussels with more responsibility on foreign, security and defense policy. Soon, under your leadership, Kaja, and that of Commissioner Kubilius, the EU will present a white paper on the future of European defense. I'm sure you will raise Europe's level of ambition in the field of defense. Standardization, common procurement, application of internal market rules, and yes, even common funding. I hope European leaders will recognize that we can no longer afford old thinking and knee-jerk reflexes. Your courage, your leadership will be in demand, and I am optimistic that you will contribute to the strengthening of the European pillar in NATO, which will be the best way to preserve the transatlantic alliance, which over many decades has secured peace in Europe. As you have said yourself, democracy has to be better prepared than tyranny. Dear Kaja, it is in recognition of your achievements to this end and to encourage you to use your new role to the fullest that it is my pleasure to award you the Ewald von Kleist Prize.
Yes, sir.